first class in the month of December. From the 56th Forces Squadron, Airman Alexander Aguilera.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Joseph Buccio.
From the 56th Medical Support Squadron, Airman Azalea Dwyer.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Eric Garcia.
From the 56th Logistics Readiness Squadron, Airman Gina Gomillion.
From the 607th Air Control Squadron, Airman Dylan Hogue.
From the 56th Security Forces Squadron, Airman Lorenz Ingram.
From the 56th Logistics Readiness Squadron, Airman Tevin Lawler.
From the 56th Security Forces Squadron, Airman Carla Machado.
From the 56th Force Support Squadron, Airman Jonathan Palacios.
From the 56th Security Forces Squadron, Airman Manuel Reyes.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Jonathan Vasquez.
From the 56th Medical Support Squadron, Airman Rafael Lopez.
As the majority of us know, reaching the rank of senior airman is no small feat. These airmen have shown their worthiness by devoting their efforts to the mastery of skills required in their career fields and overall military profession, while becoming effective team leaders.
As a senior airman, their responsibility is to not only hone their skills, but to train others as well. It's essential for senior airmen to begin developing supervisory and leadership skills through increased responsibility on the job, completion of airman leadership school, and mentoring from their supervisors. They will strive to establish themselves as effective first-line supervisors through the maximum use of guidance and assistance from those who lead them.
Assuming the rank of senior airman in the month of December,
From the 56th Operations Squadron, Airman Miles Cantu.
Maintenance Squadron, Airman Sean Drees.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Joseph Farmer.
From the 56th Component Maintenance Squadron, Airman Jeremy Janjanin.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Peter Jurgensen.
From the 56th Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Airman Tyler Mashad.
From the 56th Medical Support Squadron, Airman Ashley Meyer.
From the 56th Operations Support Squadron, Airman Andres Miranda.
From the 56th Operations Support Squadron, Airman Andres Miranda.
From the 56th Fighter Wing Staff Agency, Airman Pedro Mota.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Aaron Ondrachek.
From the 56th Medical Support Squadron, Airman Igor Pacheco.
From the 56th Component Maintenance Squadron, Airman Kyle Parada.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Devin Parshall.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Kevin Flakey.
From the 56th Civil Engineers Squadron, Airman Zachary Rieselman.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Airman Travis Willen.
Staff Sergeant Promotees, will you please come forward?
officer has been recognized as one who instills order and discipline within their unit while upholding the traditions of the order.
Abilities of an NCO are invaluable. NCOs, by virtue of their grade and authority, must exemplify and set the standard.
Here is a brief review of some of the responsibilities outlined in Air Force Instruction 36-2618, the enlisted force structure. Staff Sergeant Promotees, think about these responsibilities and how they will be entrusted to you.
In accordance with AFI 36-2618, the enlisted force structure, non-commissioned officers are entrusted to use their own experiences and knowledge to mentor their airmen and assist others to reach their potential. You are charged with promoting a culture of airmen who are capable of mastering multiple tasks to better support mission requirements, and it is imperative to the success of our mission for you to accept responsibility for assuming the role of leader. In the past, a soldier would cross a line drawn on the ground, symbolizing their passage from junior enlisted to NCO. Today, we continue to celebrate this historic tradition. Chief Kwiatkowski, would you please come forward and offer a final charge before these leaders cross the line?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Do you love me? And any man who's ever heard those words knows what that means. For those of you who don't, it means that I'm about to tell you you're going to do something and you're not going to like it. So I listened to my wife's request. She said, would you mind hanging up new Christmas lights around the house? I said, in most cases, it wouldn't be a big deal, but a week prior, I'd already hung up Christmas lights around the house. So just so you're tracking, after New Year's, I took old lights down. Before Thanksgiving, I put new lights up. And then I'm taking them down, and I'm putting new lights up again. Because my beloved didn't like the lights that I picked out. And you kind of look back and you're like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do up and down and up and down? And I'm like, because you got a mission, right? Mission is happy spouse, happy house. And you got a vision that supports that mission. And that vision is do that for as long as it takes. Right? But as we grow and we mature personally and professionally, we realize that there's another mission and another vision and another set of beliefs that we tie into. And that's where we get to the point in our careers where we're leading airmen and we realize that there's a time that we must kind of incorporate our personal values with those values of our institution. And if we want to be successful at home, and if we want to be successful at work, and we want to be successful at leading airmen, we have to align our personal vision and beliefs with those beliefs of our institution. So really, gentlemen, that's the challenge I have for you today. As you step across that line, I want you to think about how you're going to connect your personal vision and your personal mission and your personal beliefs to those values of this institution we serve. And in doing so, you will develop and build the future of air power in amazing ways. So if you're ready to accept this challenge, please step forward across the blue line.
Selectees, prepare for promotion.
Assuming the rank of Staff Sergeant.
From the 56th Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Staff Sergeant Alexander Back.
From the 56th Civil Engineer Squadron, Staff Sergeant Scott Callahan.
From the 56th Component Maintenance Squadron, Staff Sergeant Stefan Price.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Staff Sergeant Wesley Simons.
Top dog!
Staff Sergeant Gabriel Toledo Navarro.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Staff Sergeant Devontae Williams.
From the 56th Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Staff Sergeant John Wisnowski.
From the 56th Security Forces Squadron, Staff Sergeant Andrew Zier. As the name implies, technical sergeants are considered technical experts in their assigned career fields. They are responsible for the development of all enlisted personnel under their supervision and must obtain maximum performance from each subordinate while ensuring that the product or service is of the quality necessary for total mission effectiveness.
Assuming the rank of Technical Sergeant.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Technical Sergeant Nicholas Nersinger.
From the 56th Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Technical Sergeant Brian Sprangler. Master Sergeant Promotes, will you please come forward?
Promotion to Master Sergeant is another significant milestone in an airman's career. In the United States Air Force, Master Sergeants join an esteemed group of senior non-commissioned officers, commonly referred to as the top three.
As they enter the top three, they must reflect the highest qualities of a leader and professional. Their selection for promotion is based not only on their past performance, but also on their demonstrated potential to lead their airmen while effectively the mission.
Here is a brief review of some of the responsibilities outlined in Air Force Instruction 36-2618, the Enlisted Force Structure. Master Sergeant Promotes, please think about these responsibilities and how they will be entrusted to you.
In accordance with AFI 36-2618, the Enlisted Force Structure, senior non-commissioned officers are active and visible leaders who deliberately develop junior enlisted airmen, NCOs, and fellow senior NCOs. You are charged with supporting our commissioned officers' continued development by sharing your knowledge and experience to best meet mission requirements. You are also responsible for helping leaders make informed decisions and promoting a culture of airmen capable of adapting to evolving Air Force requirements throughout their careers. Chief Kwiatkowski, would you please come forward to provide some wisdom and offer a final charge before these leaders cross the line?
All right, so earlier this year, I had a significant emotional event. An airline from Phoenix to it starts to kind of make my skin crawl. And this particular day, we hit more turbulence than I've ever felt in my entire life. I tried to look up and see all the heads, and they were kind of all doing the Bob Marley thing at the same time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And then something happened that I guess the only way I can describe it is if a bus hit the back of our plane in flight. That's what it felt like. And then the inside of the plane turned into what you might see in a movie. The lights started flashing, people started screaming, the flight attendants came over the radio, they're screaming at everybody to get back in their seats. And I'm doing everything I can. Like, in my power to stay calm, right? I don't want to be freaking out like everybody else is. And then I look across the aisle to my wingman. And I'm thinking, I can get courage from my wingman across the aisle. And he's going, holy cow! I didn't get much courage from that, but I'll tell you what, I realized at that point, regardless of what the outcome is, we're in this together. And I'll tell you, leadership at this level, what these new senior NCOs are going to feel is like stepping onto a plane and taking flight. Some days, some moments of the flight, it's going to be cool, calm skies, no turbulence. And other parts of the flight, there's going to be significant turbulence. Because what we do in this job and what we do in this livelihood is difficult stuff. And our airmen are going to have concerns, problems, and they're going to come to these new senior NCOs for help and for guidance and for their leadership to guide them through that storm. And I just say this because you're not alone. You've got a wingman across the aisle that's going to help you through those leadership challenges. And I just say this, if you're ready to lead our airmen in amazing ways through the calm times and through the turbulence, then please step forward across the blue line.
Selectees, prepare for promotion.
Assuming the rank of Master Sergeant, from the 56th Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Master Sergeant Charles Blackman.
From the 56th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Master Sergeant Jason Booth.
From the 56th Maintenance Group, Master Sergeant Rachel Bremer.
From the 56th Force Support Squadron, Master Sergeant Pearl Cook.
From the 607th Air Control Squadron, Master Sergeant Reginald Cook III.
From the 56th Civil Engineer Squadron, Master Sergeant David Garrick.
From the 56th Security Forces Squadron, Master Sergeant Sean McDermott.
From the 607th Air Control Squadron, Master Sergeant John Reeves.
From the 56th Operations Support Squadron, Master Sergeant Daisha Rollins.
From the 56th Component Maintenance Squadron, Senior Master Sergeant Timothy Braden. As prescribed by law, selection to the rank of Chief Master Sergeant is limited to only 1% of the total enlisted force. Today we recognize the best of the Air Force's best.
Will our newest Chief Master Sergeant please come forward?
Chief Kwiatkowski, will you please come forward and present Chief Woods with wisdom on behalf of the Team Luke Chiefs Group?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, Chief, you've had a while to think about this. 7 days short of a year, right?
Yes, sir.
At this very moment. And I hope during this time that you kind of thought about what kind of chief are you going to be? And we have all kinds of different pedigrees of chiefs. A couple of the top 4 probably pedigrees of chiefs that we know about. Well, we've got our lap chiefs, right? They're wherever their boss is, sitting right on their lap. We've got our road chiefs. Those are the ones that are retired on active duty. They figured out how to get there, and they want everybody else to figure out how they're going to get there, right? We've got our yard chiefs. These are some of the best trained chiefs in the business. They've wore out a track around their yard, and they've never left the yard. They just protect it, and they growl and howl at anybody that comes in their yard. Then we got the lone chief. The lone chief goes where the lone chief needs to go to care for airmen. And that's the one that I hope you focus on being, is being where you need to be to care for our airmen, because airmen go where the chief goes. And for you to be there to care for them, to develop them, to motivate them, to inspire them to achieve the level that you've achieved. Congratulations, Chief. If I could get all chiefs to stand and please rise as I read the Chief Master Sergeant's creed. Chief Master Sergeants are individually to be regarded as people who cannot be bought, whose word is their bond, who put character above wealth, who possess opinions and a will, who are larger than their vocations, who will not lose their individuality in a crowd, who do not hesitate to take chances, who will be honest in all things as in great ones, who will make no compromise with wrong, whose ambitions are not confined to their own selfish desires and interests, who will not say they do it because everybody else does it, who are true to their friends, good rapport and evil rapport, in adversity as well as prosperity, who do not believe that shrewdness, cunning, and hard-headedness are the best qualities for winning success, who are not ashamed or afraid to stand for the truth when it is unpopular, who can say no with emphasis, although all the world is saying yes. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you, Chief Kwiatkowski. Chief Woods, please come forward and prepare for promotion.
Assuming the rank of Chief Master Sergeant.
From the 607th Air Control Squadron, Chief Master Sergeant Ronnie Woods.
newest chief. Chief Woods, the floor is yours.
Thank you, General Leonard. Thank you, Chief K. Appreciate y'all. I've been here for about 6 months, and I'll be honest with you, from the moment I got here, I never felt not like a chief. And I appreciate both of your leadership for that. Group commanders, group leadership, squadron leadership, superintendents, first sergeants, thank you all for helping us out. Chief Wilson, thank you. Appreciate your mentorship. Appreciate you allowing me to lead the way I want to lead. Appreciate your mentorship and friendship. It's only 14 Chief Master Sergeants in our career field in the Air Force, and 2 of them here at this base. So I really appreciate that, and I'm also proud of what you've accomplished. So my squadron, the Air Control Squadron 607, Snakes. It's a very unique unit for us. It got a great job of building the future of air power by training and developing weapon directors, air battle managers, and technicians. We do the best we can with what we have, and I really do enjoy being here, and I really do enjoy what y'all do for me, so I appreciate everyone in my squadron. To my commander, Lieutenant Colonel Wendell, I tell you guys, I hit the commander lottery. He is a great commander. He really, really sincerely cares about enlisted matters and enlisted issues, and I appreciate that, sir. I love working for you. Today, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really going to kind of go through the motions, but I got home last night at 7:30 from work, and to my surprise, sitting on my couch was my dad and my grandma. I was not expecting that. So this made this day a lot more special for me, a lot more special. This is their first time seeing me in the military, and they're getting to see me in this aspect on this great moment that I'm having. For my dad, I don't know if you remember, when I was a young airman first class, I had got offered the administrative separation, and I gave you a call. I was crying, and you said it's gonna be all right. 16 years later, look at this. Grandma, I don't know if you remember when I was a tech sergeant, I gave you a call. I was going through a lot personally, and you told me it was gonna be all right. Thank you. That's helping this moment right here. To my son, Sincere, you been around for almost all of them, bro. He's 16. He started out and he wasn't getting the best toys and all of that. Now we're where we are, and he gets everything he wants. So my baby Aaliyah, this is the reason I love these moments, because she doesn't really understand the gravity of what's going on right now. But because of what we're doing here, she definitely understands the importance. She asked me the other day, what is a Chief Master Sergeant? What's important about it? We're in a position to take care of people. That's why it's important, and we all love what we do. Last but not least, to my wife, to my backbone, my soulmate, my everything. For everybody that don't really understand, she is the most important reason why I'm standing here today as a Chief Master Sergeant. And I tell you that. When they look at us for records for Chief Master Sergeants, they look at the last 5 years. Well, the last 5 years on my record, I deployed 2 times for 6 months. I did a remote to LUD. I did a remote to Korea. While all of that was going on, she was being mom and dad, making the recitals, making the basketball games, making the football games, being a manager at a job, doing all of that, and I was at peace of mind when I was taking care of my mission for Big Blue. So please give her a round of applause for me. And I'm gonna conclude with the promotees. I'm gonna give y'all pieces of advice moving forward. Cherish this moment. Cherish this moment. Take lots of pictures. Make sure you thank everyone that gets you there. One of my biggest regrets is I didn't cherish the moment. I wanted to find memories of when I promoted to senior airman or staff sergeant. I don't have any. And it's a big regret of mine. So cherish this moment. Also, use your promotion. Make a difference. Go out there and make a difference. And whatever lane you have to make that difference, whether it's small or big, your goal every day should be to make a difference just for one airman. If you can go to work and you can make a difference just for one airman, you've done what you need to do. So I want to challenge you all to do that moving forward. Just make a difference in any way you can for any airman. Last but not least, thanks to the committee, the promotion committee, for putting this ceremony on. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Great moment for me and my family. And that's all I got. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
One, two, three. Can we get one more?
Thank you, Chief Woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attendance today reflects the tremendous support we have provided these deserving airmen to help them reach the next higher grade. However, we would be remiss if we didn't recognize the most supportive unit for today's ceremony.
General Leonard and Chief Kwiatkowski, would you please offer your remarks and name the War Cry Trophy winner?
All right, there was a lot of cheering going on. I think a lot of it has to do with geography too, as well as motivation. CE, I heard you, don't worry. You guys are good to go. Obviously, getting the chief and all the snakes back there, they're pretty fired up. Yeah, you hear it? I love the drum. But I'll tell you, there's this one squadron that just kept bringing it the whole time. And then the other cool thing about this squadron is they broke down into several other units, if you will, and the cheers just kind of kept going. So I'd like to give this War Cry trophy to AMXF. Awesome. I think that's kind of a neat way to wrap up November's promotion ceremony. For those of you guys that don't know, this might be the last time as a wing we do a wing promotion ceremony. And so people are like, oh, what does that really kind of mean? Well, I just wanted to let you guys know, we're about listening, we're about understanding kind of how we can go forward. And one of the big things that our Chief of Staff of the Air Force wants to do is revitalize all our units and making sure that we're pushing authority and leadership down to the lowest level. You've heard me talk about the leader-leader model. You've heard me talk about the fact that we need to be making decisions all across this wing. Inside of our creed, we talk about wingman, leader, warrior, and that means all of us are leaders. And so we talked about different ways we could do that, and folks also have been coming up with some great ideas on how we can do that even better. And one of those ideas was to celebrate our promotees at the unit level. And so while I love this event, I think it's great, and it's just been a tremendous opportunity for us to get together, share a lot of camaraderie. We're going to try out promoting at the unit level, and I'm excited for that too. But I just wanted to let everybody know
that we're going to try that out in December. We're going to see what that's like. We're going to get a feel for it. We talked to all of our leadership. We also talked to our promotees. In fact, the last promotion ceremony, we did a little straw poll, and I'll tell you, the majority of them wanted to try it out at the unit level, so we're going to do that. So it's kind of a neat way, I think, to kind of close this one out, is to give the War Cry Trophy to an organization that is a squadron, but in also in other ways, there are a bunch of AMUs and a bunch of different pockets. And so I think it's just a great kind of picture, if you will, about how we organize in several different ways, and we continue to be great, and we continue to have community as we go down the chain of command. But really the most important thing is we have some great leadership. And then I also think it's really fun to kind of celebrate kind of going out the door with how we do unit sponsoring and having the OSS do it. So Shazam, you guys just, no kidding, took off and did a great job. And I want to give them a big round of applause for putting time and energy into this wing promotion ceremony. It's also great to be in our club. That was another one of the things that we talked through for a while there because of club renovations. We went over to the base theater. Now we're back. It's kind of fun. We're doing live streaming back in Harlow's. Really my intent was trying to get as many people involved in this ceremony as we can because it's just really great to celebrate. This is an incredible day. As Chief Woods talked about, you know, it's a day to be remembered. It's a day to be cherished. It's a significant and huge event. And I'll tell you, it was really kind of neat. I think this is literally the first promotion ceremony I've ever been in out of the 20-some promotion ceremonies that I've been a part of, where we've had every rank get promoted. I don't know if you guys realize that. All the way from airman, all the way up to chief. And so I thought that was really cool. And another thing that I just think is just great is being able to celebrate all the families that are in the audience. I appreciate you coming out. Sometimes it's hard with wiggly little kids. I got 6 of them, so I know what it's like. But I'll tell you, I really appreciate the service and sacrifice that you make, and really kind of you are enabling. And we're celebrating you today as we celebrate the military member that you support here up on stage. So thanks for what you do. We'd like to give you a big round of applause as well. And so with that, to our promotees, E1 all the way up to E9, man, I'll tell you, that is just really cool. As I was signing the certificates, I'm like, this is amazing. And I'll tell you, it's just really with a lot of pride and honor that I stand up in front of you guys and just tell you congratulations for what you do. You know, when you come up on stage, I hope you heard what I said when you saluted, and I said lead well. And it's important that you guys do that. If I could offer you one bit of advice, is to lead and to do it well. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. It's hard to follow Chief. You know, I can't tell any Christmas light stories other than I put mine up like a year ago and I took them down. So, you know, and that's kind of working out. Like my arch wasn't lit up, and I don't know, it's like maybe they thawed out or something. Now it's all lit up, and my wife hasn't asked me to take them down yet, so that's good. And I was riding on that plane, and we're alive. So I don't have any other stories than that. And then Chief Woods, really some great advice. But I would like just to add kind of a small thing to think about kind of each and every day. Because as you, literally, even our airmen, you know, sitting here on the front row, you guys are leaders. You're in charge of things. You're definitely in charge of yourself. You have a huge impact on your leaders and on your work organization. What you do matters in our Air Force. You're a big part of our team. And that goes all the way up to our chief. Every single one of you guys make a difference. And you can't sell yourself short. Because if you're doing that, you're selling our nation short. You're selling the world's greatest Air Force short. We can't have that. We need to continue to stay the greatest Air Force in the entire world. Our nation is counting on this. This is a serious job. And so as you go across and do that, I just have 5 simple questions that I'd like you to ask of your organization and yourself every day. And I got these questions from our maintenance group commander, Colonel Hudson, and I just love sharing these because I think they really help focus what we need to do as leaders. The first question is, what should we do? So not what do we do, it's what should we do, right? So when you're sitting there in your shop, what should we be doing? What should our organization be doing? How do we move the mission forward? How do we take care of people better? And then the second question is, how should we be doing it? Because you might be doing the right things, but maybe how you do them, you could do that a little differently or better, or you could bring some innovation to bear. You can move that along. The third question is, how are we doing? Right? So maybe you got it figured out already. You know what we should be doing. You know how to do it correctly. You figured that all out. You know, you brought all your great ideas to the table, and now you're going, how are we doing? Like, are we doing those things? Right? You can think through that very easily. You can give yourself a grade and go, all right. And then how do you know? So maybe you're not really sure in your gut. You say, well, I think we're doing okay. But how do we know for sure? Right? We can go around and ask other people. There's very simple ways to kind of track things and really kind of understand, really, are we on target or are we not? Are we wasting our taxpayer dollars? The sons and daughters of our country that you're entrusted to, are we, not giving them our 100%? That's a serious question. And then last but not least is, how are we getting better, sharing those lessons learned and really investing in other people? And so those are very important questions that I want each and every one of you to ask. No matter where you are in this organization, no matter what you're doing, we can't do it without you. And then on top of that, I want you to ask yourself those questions. What should I be doing? How should I be doing it? How am I doing? How do I know? And what am I doing to make those around me better and sharing those lessons learned? Those are pretty convicting questions. And I'll tell you, I'll just give a little example from my life. And so over the past couple days, I've asked myself those questions, and actually I've gotten a couple answers on what I should be doing a little bit better. And one of those is time management. I haven't been doing a good job. One of my main roles as the wing commander is to make sure the business of the wing continues to move. To make sure that I reflect our values and kind of how I run our business. And on the meeting side, I haven't been doing really well. So what should I be doing is value other people's time, and how should I do that is start in meetings on time. How do I know I'm not doing it? Is I got some great feedback. And how do I make sure I continue to get that great feedback is by listening and reacting to that. And then how do I make sure people, and I share those lessons learned, is I get up in front of the whole wing and I share that lesson learned that I've learned with you guys. Because that's how we get better as an organization. So this is a really important journey that we're on. And I want to say congratulations, because you guys are just a couple more steps down that road with a whole bunch more experience and a whole bunch more capability to make our Air Force just that much greater. And to see that building of air power right in front of our very eyes, E1 through E9, is just an incredible event. So thank you and congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you, General Leonard and Chief Wojtkowski.
Before we leave, we would like to acknowledge that today's event would not be possible without the support of several base agencies. Please join us as we thank the Fighter Wing staff, Luke's Top 3 for organizing today's ceremony, and the 56th Operations Support Squadron for serving as hosts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please rise to join us in loudly and proudly singing the Air Force song. Thank you for attending.